Here we are in the kitchen, which for most families is sort of like Grand Central Station. As you notice on the stove, we have a no sign to indicate that this is an area that the child should not get involved with, simply for safety reasons. You will see yes and no signs or go and no signs around this area, and I'll point those out as we go. The refrigerator can often be a great source and a great location for information. We have here a clock that says dinner will be served at, and you can change it depending on the time of day that you're going to have your dinner. Oftentimes children will ask questions over and over and over again, and this is a simple way you can just refer them back to the clock. Here we have a choice board with different foods that would be available. If you're willing to let the child have a choice for their meal, you can put a couple of things on here. It's very important for children with autism to have choices, simply so that they feel that they have some control over their environment. We also have down here what the lunch menu might be at school, so that you can plan that ahead in terms of what the hot lunch would be, what snacks might be available, and what the salad would be for each week. Also, it's important to have calendars available for our students, and you will notice that these calendars are placed lower, not for an adult to look at, but for a child to look at. This is simply one that indicates the days that the child will be going to the school and any special events. So when they're home for a week, maybe if they've been home for a holiday, spring vacation or something, it's indicated by the home, and then the bus indicates the days that they would go to school. And as you can see, there's a doctor's appointment here and a plan to go to a movie on that particular Saturday. It's very helpful for the student to be able to know what's happening in advance. This is also a calendar. If dad or mom happen to travel a good bit for their business, it's helpful for the student to know when they're going to be away and when they're going to be home. So we indicate that dad's going to be away with the airplane on these particular days, then he'll be back home, he has to travel again. Really is very helpful for that student. This is also another little morning, afternoon, and night type schedule. In the morning we're going to wash our face, put on deodorant, brush teeth, put our shoes on. In the afternoon when we come home after school, put our backpack away, maybe a chore of getting fresh water for the dogs, doing some chores on the schedule, and then putting the shoes away, and then some routines for the evening. On the side of the refrigerator we have some additional visual supports. This is referred to as a first-then chart, where we may put a couple of chores for the student to do, such as make your bed and dust the living room, and then we get to go to McDonald's. You do not always have to have a reinforcer for the then, but it should be something that's a more preferable task than the ones that you put on the other side. We also have a wait card so that we can teach the child to wait. As much as our children want our attention, we're not always available to them immediately. So we can use the wait card and maybe count 1, 2, 3, and then do what they want. And as we continue with that process, we can prolong that amount of wait time. We also have an I need help card for the student so that they can access this if they need to get your attention, and maybe you're busy with something, they can hand you this and let you know that they need some help at that point. This is another type of chore chart that we can do, where we put the procedures for what it is that they need to do on one side and then the finished card. So for example, as the child completes the chore, they move it to the other side. These can be put on the refrigerator and kept stable. Sort of like our to-do list, we like to scratch things off as we complete them so that they're done. Whoops. As we move through the kitchen, you will notice on the cabinets we have some go and some stop signs. The areas that say go means that the child has access to that area. They can get into those cabinets. If there's something that says stop, then we do not want them to have access, such as the sharp knives or an electrical appliance, the toaster oven that might get very hot. We have to teach that concept. They don't learn that just by putting the signs up, but you can explain to the student or the child that that means an area that they're not to touch. Underneath the sink, you will see the stop signs are apparent because we keep our chemicals and our cleaning products here, and we don't want the child to be involved with that. Here we have a washing dishes procedure, which goes from left to right, tells the child exactly what they need to do to wash the dishes, scrape the dishes, put the dishes in the sink, add soap and warm water, wash dishes, rinse dishes, put clean dishes in the rack, dry the dishes, put dishes in the cupboard, and then you're finished. We also have a washing hands procedure that tells the student exactly what they need to do. Turn the water on, use the soap, wash your hands, rinse hands, turn water off, and dry hands. So these are just some of the visual supports that might be helpful to use in the kitchen. Here we are in the bathroom. Visual supports are very, very helpful in the bathroom as well. On this wall we have some shower and bath procedures. We also have on the wall next to the toilet a boy potty schedule and a girl potty schedule. We also have a sign on the wall that just indicates to turn on the light, sit on the toilet, be sure to wipe with toilet paper, flush the toilet, and wash your hands before leaving. Here we are in the laundry room where visual supports are a necessary item as well. It's important, again, if we're teaching independence for our youngsters, that they learn how to do their own laundry. We have down here below 2 baskets to indicate which ones would be the whites and which ones would be darks. They need to learn to separate the laundry before doing it. And then above the washer and the dryer, we have a visual procedure of exactly how you do the laundry. You open the door, you put the clothes in the washer, pour in the soap, put the soap in the washer, close the washer door, turn the knob, and pull to start. And then we have a wait sign, simply because there's going to be some time that elapses before they move to the next step. Once the clothes are washed, we take out the wet clothes and we put the clothes in the dryer. Again, we need to wait. Then we put the clothes back in the basket, carry the basket into the room, and put the clothes away. So it's a sort of a 3-step procedure clearly outlined for the student. On this side, we have another procedure which is done with check marks. It's a similar laundry routine, but the individual can then put the check marks in as they complete each step of the task. Down below we have a crate that has many of our cleaning supplies in it. Again, you'll notice the stop sign that indicates please do not get involved with any of the items in this basket. Those are off limits. For the ironing board, we have a sign that just indicates that if there's a hot iron here, do not touch. On the plug over here, I don't know if we've pointed this out before, but we do have most of our plugs in the house covered with a do not touch sign so that children will not put any foreign objects or their fingers into the plugs as well. As we leave the utility room to exit the home, we do have some items that might be helpful for going into the community. This is simply a little booklet that says we are going to, and then we can put in order the places that we're going to be visiting as we go out into the community. The grocery store, the bank, the library, and then maybe McDonald's. And what's nice about this little booklet is that you can keep all of your extra pictures on the inside and replace them as your trips vary. This is a little booklet that was made more as a communication booklet for going out into the community with a simple yes, no, a hello, and a variety of different pictures that the child may need to indicate when they're out in the community. This little booklet is called The Child with Autism Goes to Town, and it has procedures for a variety of different places: the playground, fast food spots, the mall, barbershop, doctor, pharmacy, etc. And it gives you a variety of techniques and strategies to use with your child when you're out in the community. This is a little carry procedure card that talks about a community outing. We're going to play basketball, then we have to go to the doctor's office, and then we're going to Burger King. And this is made so that it can fit over the headrest of the seat in front of the child if the child is sitting in the back seat, so that it can be a constant reminder as to where they're going and in what order. We also have a couple of menus here. Here's one from McDonald's. If you can get this in advance, it's very helpful to have your child look at the menu so that they can think about what it is that they want when they get to the restaurant, and then that increases their independence in ordering for themselves. This is another one that was made that has some information for where I want to go, Wendy's, McDonald's, wherever, and what I would like to get and what I would like to drink. We also have some first then cards. We have some in the vertical and horizontal position so that you can indicate first we're going to the doctor's office and then maybe to get a treat. So these visual supports are very helpful to take with you in the car or out in the community so that your child can have an idea of what's going to happen next and be able to be more successful in that environment. We're going to leave and go outside, but before we go outside, it's important for the child to know what the rules are when they go outside to play. So we have some outdoor rules that say stay inside the play area. That might be a fenced-in area or otherwise marked with paint or pylons. Make a choice from the choice board as to what you want to do. Play nicely, keep your hands to yourself, and put your toys away when you are finished. Next to that, we have an outside choice board so that the student or the child can look at what is available to play with outside, whether it be a trampoline or play basketball or go skating. And they can pick whatever it is they want to do, put it on a first then. Maybe they want to go swing for a while first, and then they want to jump rope. And then they can take the first then card with them to remind them what it is that they chose. It's important for them to stick with that. They may have an opportunity to make other choices later, but since there may be other children involved, it's important for them to make a choice and be able to stay with the choice that they made. As you will notice on the door, we have a stop sign, and below that it says, be sure to tell someone that you're going outside. It's important to tell the student what to do after they stop, because oftentimes they'll stop and then proceed without doing anything or letting someone know that they're going outside. So that's important to indicate there. And you will notice as I open the door, we have an alarm on the door. These can be purchased for a minimal charge from Home Depot, Target, the safety store at Riley Hospital. But it's important for you to have one because it lets you know when the child has left the building. Here we are in the outside area, which we also need visual supports for our children. If we have a grill outside, it's very important to have some kind of an indication to steer clear because of the heat involved or the danger involved in that. As you will notice, many people have a fenced-in area. We were not able to do that here today, but what we have done is we've made a border with some spray paint along the lawn. It's important for the children to have some parameter as to how far they can go when outside. You can either use pylons or some indication of a border that keeps the children within a certain area.